the manifestation is not your job because it has already manifested. It has already vibrationally become a reality. So the most important part of your manifestation has already occurred. Your vibrational reality has become a reality because you asked. Your asking process is the same as the summoning process, so it is a reality. But since you're so used to being a physical, you're only used to calling reality what you can see with your eyes. But what you're seeing with your eyes is a vibrational interpretation, and you could interpret this vibrational reality. But think about this vibrational reality where everything that you want is, and where you now stand, you can be the perceiver of the manifestation. You have to be the perceiver. You can't be you can't be patient. You can't be the waiter of it. You have to be the perceiver of it. You have to get into your vortex and start to perceive these things. Because if you're not perceiving the vortex version, then you're perceiving the version that you currently have, which is your what is, which is the fact that you don't have the money in your bank account. You don't have this, you don't have that. And as long as you keep that vibration going, then you can't do anything about it. You can't affect the change. You can't be the creator that you always decided that you were going to be. And so that's the thing, is you really came into this environment from the non-physical realm where there was no resistance to an environment of resistance, because you knew that the contrast to resistance would be valuable to you. And the reason why you expected the contrast to be very valuable was because you always understood that when life caused you to want something, you would go with that new desire. But instead, as sort of these humans, you don't do that. Instead of, well, sometimes you do that. Depends on what the nature of your desire is, or what the subject is. There's some desires that are just easier than others, but mostly what it is when life causes you to want something, don't talk about the reason why you don't want what you don't want. So instead of talking about, oh, I want money because it's going to be so good, and getting that momentum going, you're saying, I want money because I really don't want this, and I really don't want this, and I really don't want to be poor, and I really don't want to be, not able to afford what I want, and I really don't want to do things I don't want to do, and I really don't want to do this. And then your momentum is sort of all over the place. Then you're not getting what you want, but you're getting what your vibrational match to. Ooh, that's the thing, is you're always getting what your vibrational match to, but you can change the frequency of your being. You can decide right now that instead of waiting for a change in your vibration, you're going to be the creator, and you're going to get out ahead of the condition of the physical manifestation, and you're going to find the emotion, the reason why you want it. Because the thing is, you have to feel the way that your desire feels. You can't feel the opposite of it and ever expect to get the presence of it. You have to feel the way that your desire feels. So it's an emotional conversation. It's an emotion, and everything that you want is really for a feeling. You want the money because it'll make you feel free. You want, the money because you think that it'll be so much more nicer to buy whatever you want. You want, you want the career because it'll be so nice to just experience it, and it'll be nice. And there's nothing wrong with just saying that's nice and it feels fun, because that is the reason why you want it. But you see how when you talk about your desire like that, then you're usually clear. You're usually a vibrational match to what you want, and then you can get into the vortex, right? You get into the receiving of that desire. You see, right now where you stand, you can't see the physical change right now. The thing is, if you're waiting for the manifestation, so that you're not claiming your desire as a reality right now, because if it's not here, then it's absent. Then that's a desire that you just cannot manifest. But the thing is, you can, by understanding that it is a vibrational reality. So now that you understand that it already is a vibrational reality, now whenever you think about your desire, it's really for the fun of it. It's really for the pleasure. It's not to make it happen, because it has already happened. You see, you're addicted to physical reality. You're addicted to manifestation, and that's why manifestation is not as easy as it could be, because you're waiting for the manifestation. You're doing everything for the manifestation because it's not here. It's not here in the physical reality. So since I understand the laws of the universe, and there are things that when I do them, I can get the manifestation. I can affect the outcome, and that's not the worst way. But the thing is, the things that you really want are not usually, they don't follow that formula, right? Because when you offer a process, when you offer a thought in order to affect the outcome, then there's that resistance. That resistance slows everything down. And we're saying, friends, you don't need to have that resistance, because it's already reality. So now as you stand, your job is not to make it happen. Your job is to accept, right? It's to really accept that it has already happened. So since it has already happened, since it has become a vibrational reality, now you have to tune to that reality. Now you have to tune to it. Now you have to become the perceiver of it. And as you become the perceiver of it, the first manifestation that you're going to experience is an emotional one. And you see how the emotional manifestation really is the most important manifestation, because once you're feeling good, once you're feeling the security of the dollars before the dollar comes, then now it has to come. Once you feel the emotion, the essence, the feeling of being on the right, the harmony of being on the right channel, then you literally, you have to get what you want. You have to get your manifestation. And so, you know what that translates as? It translates to you as, not always being in the vortex, because you can't always be in the vortex, because you came from a place of no resistance to be in a place of resistance, because it would be valuable, because it would offer you, so much benefit. There always would be so much more benefit to your contrast than not. And so you can't always be in the vortex, and we're not saying always be in the vortex. We're saying be in the vortex as much as you can, and then you'll realize that even in those moments of contrast, you're better at going with the rocket, because now you have the balance. Now you're reactionary. Your reaction isn't so strong. You see, most people are just reacting to life just comes at them, and they just react. Like, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, I don't have that. And that, in a way, is what you're doing when you're not experiencing what you want. You're just reacting to the reality. And we're saying you have to get out ahead of it, which means you have to find the vibration of what you want even before you see results. But what we're saying now, as a result of all this great conversation, is that it is already a reality, and your inner being is there. And so if you want to be who you really are, then you have to go in the direction of that desire. You don't have to manifest it right now, but you can't be going against the flow of it. You can't be going against your desire. You can't be talking about the fact that it's absent, because your inner being is not going to agree with you. That's what negative emotion is about. You see, everything that you want is for a feeling, but the thing is, your job is to find that feeling first. You can't wait for reality to react to. You have to feel different. And what we're saying is the journey is fun. You can find pleasure in the vibrational version of it, and that really is your work. And so are we saying that where you stand right now, in the absence of dollars, you can feel the security of the money, and that when you actually have the money in your bank account, when it does manifest, that you also feel that security, and the feeling of security that you had when you didn't have it, but you were conjuring it, you were tuning to that vibration reality, and this feeling of security you feel when the money actually hits in your bank account is the same. Yes, exactly. Thing is, you have to feel the way that it feels in order for it to manifest, and that's how you know you do it right, because it manifests, because you feel it and it manifests. And there really is that piece of contrast, because the thing is, we know that you have already put so much in your vortex, so you're done asking. You don't need to ask anymore. You don't need to, you don't need to sort of revise your desires anymore. What's in that vibration reality, you can now become the realizer of, and it's really your job to be the receiver of it. But the thing is, in order to be the receiver of it, you first have to be the receiver of the emotion. Right? Because the emotion is the most important part of the manifestation. Once you have the emotion, and the physical reality is really easy it catches up really fast, because the emotion is your key that you're on the right channel, right? Because it's all frequencies, and everything is a frequency. And if everything is a frequency, then how are you going to know which frequency you're on? How are you going to understand if you're on the right frequency or not? Your emotions. You see, your emotions are the most important sensory that you have, because if you're only depending on what you can see, then you know what's going to happen. Then right now, where you stand, you're just going to claim everything that you want to happen, and that's what you've been doing, because you're not understanding your emotions in the way that you are meant to understand them. Because if you're just looking at reality with your eyes and your five senses, then you're going to come to the logical conclusion: it's not here. What we're saying is you have to factor in how that feels. How does that feel when you say it's not here? It doesn't feel good. Then that negative emotion of it not feeling good, that means something. Well, what does it mean? It means that there's another version of you out there who has a different opinion. That's why you have a negative emotion. Well, what's your inner being's opinion? It's here. I'm living it. I'm enjoying this reality. And you're saying, well, I don't see it. And your inner being says, well, if you felt for the feeling of it, then if you look for us instead of the desire, if you look for your inner being instead of your desire, then you would find it, because then it's emotional. Then it's easier to find alignment than it is to find the money right now. But the thing is, finding the alignment right now will lead to the money. Finding the alignment will lead to all of your manifestations. But the thing is, the alignment is what you really want. And every desire, when you really break it down, and it's better to do it with a pen and paper, like write it down, why do I want this? And talk about all the emotional reasons why. And then you can see what you're doing with your momentum. You can be very clear about it. And you understand that everything is it's for the sake of being in the vortex right now, being in that place where you feel good, but nothing has really changed yet. And that's what you really want. But we're saying you can find that place. And once you find that place, and the thing is, you're good at that. You're good at finding that place. And you're doing so much more better than you think you are. Because when you track your progress, you're tracking your progress by what you can see with your eyes. So you're like, all this is absent. What we're saying is you have to feel about your vortex as if it's already a reality, because it is a reality. But the thing is, you're only used to seeing reality as a physical reality. The thing is, it's just your vibrational interpretation. It's your perception of a reality. And so that means that, so are we saying that there are more realities than you're perceiving? Kind of, yeah, because there's a vortex, there's a vibrational reality that as you tune to, you actually feel good. When you look in your vortex for what you want, you always find it, and you always feel satisfaction. And that satisfaction is what you're really looking for. And since that's what you're really looking for instead of the physical manifestation, because the thing is, we don't want you to look for physical manifestation anymore, because that's hanging you up. That's messing up the progress. You see, you want the house, and if you're not gonna have the house, then you're not gonna feel good. So your task isn't the manifestation. You're not trying to get the house right now. You're trying to get the feeling of the house, and that feeling of the house when you accomplish it, because you feel good and you know that you accomplish it. The thing is, you know when you're in the vortex because you feel good. So the emotion really is your job. The emotion is your job. But the thing is, the reason why the emotion doesn't feel like the job, why it doesn't feel productive, it feels counterintuitive actually, is because you're used to action. You're used to the results that your action will give you. And there's a reason why, because when you're using your action, it's pretty much instant manifestation. You're having instant manifestation, and that's why you like your action. But it gets to the point where there's just not much that you can really create with your action anymore. There are things that you are wanting that are sort of not bigger, but they're beyond your capacity to act upon them, right? So that means that you have to believe, and that's kind of what faith is. Faith is tuning into a vibrational reality and loving the vibrational reality so much that what's in the physical reality is not really in your mind. So you're not really paying attention to that because you're too busy tuning to a vibrational reality. Not because that's what makes everything come, but because you're enjoying this now moment. And so you know what's really interesting is that you know when you're doing the work right, you know that you're a match to your desire, right? You know that you're a match to your desire because you like where you are right now. You're satisfied. You're not gunning to get over there. You're just satisfied because you're tuning into the complete manifestation. And truly, your creations really require no effort because it's already been a reality, has already been created. And that's something that you really have to understand in the coming days, is that what I want is already real. And as I tune into it, then I'm going to get the emotional version of it. And that is what I'm really looking for. That's the thing, is the emotion is what you're looking for. And if you can understand that you can find the emotion right now just by doing a little bit of focusing, then everything that you want, it has to come to you. But the thing is, we don't want the coming to you to be the reason why you do the feeling work, because then there's that condition, then there's that resistance, and that's why things don't really work. We want the emotion to be what you're looking for, because when the emotion is what you're looking for, then you're always feeling like, okay, I'm on the brink of it. Like, you feel just how ready you are for everything. But then when you're feeling like I'm on the brink of everything, you want the emotion to be what you're looking for. Because if you look right now in your reality and you don't see what you want, you're gonna call it absent. But we're saying no, that's what's slowing you down. That's what's screwing your flow up, because you keep looking, and so that's what that taking score piece is all about, is that you look at reality prematurely and you claim what you want is not real when it already is a reality. And that's what unconditional alignment is really about. Unconditional alignment is understanding that there's a vibrational reality, and this vibrational reality is not going to be a physical reality until it arrives on the scene, until I can see it. But the thing is, if I'm waiting until I see it to feel good, then the thing is, I will never see it, right? But if you're feeling good because you know that's a reality, so you're tuning to it, you're like, okay, why do I want it? So you're using your emotion to literally look into it, like look at it with your emotions, enjoy it with your emotions, spend it with your emotion, look at it with your emotion, taste it with your emotion, and do everything with your emotion. The general emotion, like it feels like ease, it feels like clarity, it feels like flow. Then it's not absent in your vibration, then it's active in your vibration. The presence of it is active, and then it has to manifest. But the thing is, remember, like you see on this journey, like when you're making your way towards what you want, you're not going to see any evidence of it because it's already 99% complete even before you see any evidence of it. So you have to trust the vibration reality. You have to trust your emotion more than you trust your eye, because the emotion is telling you the full story. And as you tune into the emotional reality, as you tune into the vibration reality, then you're going to feel good. And as you feel good, that's what you're really looking for. So you're the type of person who is just happy all the time, because when life causes you to want something, instead of talking about what you don't want anymore, you're talking about what you do want. You're like, I want money, it's gonna be so nice to spend it, it's gonna be so good. You're not talking anymore about what you don't want, the situation that means you want money. You're not talking about that anymore, because you don't care. You only care about feeling good. And as you talk about what you want and why you want it, then you feel even better and better and better until there's so many things manifesting out onto the scene. And of course, there's that piece of momentum, and you're not gonna get rid of your beliefs right away, but gradually, as you care more about how you feel, and as you tune to this vibration reality, so that you're not looking for results, because that's why we say you're addicted to manifestation. And this is the last part, we promise. You're looking for results, but we're like, but why would you look for results when it's already a vibrational reality? The vibrational result is what you're really looking for. But you're like, no, the physical result is what I'm really looking for. And we're like, well, that's why it's not manifesting, because you're looking for the physical result right now when you should be looking for the vibrational result, which you can accomplish right now. And in accomplishing the vibrational result, everything else is just really easy after that. The manifestation, it comes so fast.